It's a good example of things. And just so you know, my name is Eric Miller. K87LTN is my amateur radio FCC call sign. This right here is the trail where the witness supposedly saw something. Yeah. Well, quite a distance away to see anything. And not misinterpret what you see. Yes, you can still hear the generator a little bit over here. A generator that provides our electricity for everything, for CPAP, for fans, or electric space heaters, or electric cooktops as we sometimes use, or lighting. All the things that most people have regular utilities for. So I'm sorry if the generator was noisy during the recordings. Now, my daughter, I want to address some things here. My daughter was taken to that picnic bench. The officer wanted to take her behind the trailer, at minimum, which was not even a quieter space. Technically just as loud. And how accurate everything was. If you notice the very, very beginning of part 1, it was mentioned that, well, if you listen closely, Officer Hughes had to talk to my wife. My wife was sitting outside with me when the officers showed up. She went inside, and then the daughter came out. Yes, my wife should have kept our daughter inside, but you have to understand, we have people up our butts so hard that if my daughter did not come out, they would have tried to break the door down illegally, because obviously, I mean, think about it. If they illegally placed her in cuffs to begin with just for refusing to talk to a male officer, and also if you listen closely, you heard my daughter say no clearly, meaning I was quiet. So how is that abusive if I was allowing my daughter to make her own decision and her own call on that? And there are reasons I said what I said and when I said them. Yeah, did I say too much? In a way, yes. I'll admit that. But how many people get to touch an officer in uniform? If you pay attention to that part. This is a mobility scooter. Okay, not a moped. That's what I tried to say. There. Okay. Some people walking by on the public trails. This is considered a public forest area. So, and yes, we would like to move on. And for some of those that were saying MAGA country, yeah, in general, the state of Texas is red, but this is Travis County, Austin, Texas, which is very, very blue. Let's see. Try to turn this around so you can see me. This is my smiling mug. And I'm just trying to give y'all an idea of what was going on. We had a cat that we tried to help through the winter, survive the winter. My daughter knew it was basically a foster situation. Yeah, if the cat decided to become part of the family, we might have made adjustments to keep it. But that cat, I've got a cheap Amazon smartwatch. Okay? If you know anything about smartwatches, they keep a tab on your stress levels. That cat was stressing me out daily. I didn't want cats before when we got this RV because we could barely afford, barely have the room for the dog that we have. He's just sitting over there gracefully in between. She knows the family, and obviously if somebody heard me yelling all the way over here, if my daughter yelled at that picnic table saying, "Dad, help," I would have responded. Just because a camera lens can only hold so much information within the view. So, for those that want to say, "Oh, I didn't do enough to protect my daughter," or do enough to... I wasn't right there. If you notice, when I did try to approach to be close to my daughter, they were about ready to draw down on me. Oh, and just so you know, yes, one hand on phone. This is what was in my other hand. My cane. For stability and balance. That's one of my ham radios. So, this is what it all kind of looks like. Like it makes much of a difference. This is a trail where I saw someone on the phone. What can you see of the ground? Can you even see the sidewalk over there by the RV? And this is the appropriate height. But, yeah. So those of you that assume you know what's going on, know nothing. And, for stuffs and giggles, without saying that I'm just here to grift. Well, one, I had 113 or so subscribers, maybe 130 subscribers, if that, before this. So I'm not a monetized channel, even though I've been on YouTube for 13 years. I have put out content that describes what's going on with our family to some degree. But I do have a lot of other videos and stuff that I'd love to be able to upload. But here's my grip. If you want to help, if anybody wants to help us do anything, it would be get a Starlink kit. So we can stop paying Verizon a bunch of money for very, very slow service. And actually have more of an appropriate internet speed that everybody else takes for granted. That is my grift. You can always go into the contacts and find the Venmo or whatever. And if you do decide to do anything, that's totally your call. I mean, literally, if every single new subscriber I had did $1, not even, but did $1, you could pretty much cover it. At least cover the cost of a standard kit. Not begging. I'm just going to say this one time. Yes, we homeschool our daughter. What is illegal about that? Oh, my daughter is 12. Hello. She puts her own clothes on. She changes her own clothes when she wants to change her own clothes. She gets down in the dirt and dirty like a boy. Bit of a tomboy. But she can be as much of a drama queen as any dainty little girl in pink powder puff, whatever. So, What am I supposed to do? Um, as parents, are we supposed to clothe our children and literally dress them every day until they're 21 years old or 23 in the state of New York? Or do we teach them the responsibilities to do the things themselves and let them make their own choices, good or bad? Yeah, you don't want them to make choices that'll cost them for the rest of their life, but at the same time, so she has play clothes for getting out and getting dirty. Okay. But that's that. God bless. Shalom.